Hello and welcome to the Pork and Knuckles Show, where we take a bite out of the movies. Literally. And today, we're whipping ourselves into the... What?
The whip.
Yeah, I need to make that effect. Anyways, we're whipping ourselves back in history, back in time, to one of the greatest, biggest film franchises of all time, Indiana freaking Jones. And did you know that Indy and Harry Potter share their middle name?
Cool.
Great! And... seriously, Indiana Jones is awesome. I love this. I loved the first film.
The first was superb.
To death.
First was superb. Second, not so good. Third was equally as good as the first one. And the fourth was an abomination.
We will not talk about the fourth.
No, they are complete abomination.
Great, yeah, because this is seriously because what I don't understand. Okay, I have to start with the fourth. What I don't understand is it has Steven Spielberg and George Lucas behind it, two of the most influential people on this entire planet who made.
Sure.
These films are riddled with cliches, but not because they incorporated the cliches. They made these cliches become cliches. They shaped the entire film industry with their creative genius behind the things that they did. And then, what felt like an eternity later, they took everything that they created and they defecated on it. And
but they're looking to make a fifth one. I don't... Oh, God.
No. The only thing that I can say and want to say about this fourth movie is watch the South Park episode on it. It has all the required dialogue about this. Because what I felt was such a disgrace to the first films, even the second one, which I also didn't really like.
Second one was rubbish.
And is the fact that what makes the Indiana Jones movies good is the fact that they put you as a viewer in the middle of the action. You have the feeling of being part of it. You have the feeling with the superb stunts, sometimes even done by Harrison Ford himself, or one of the greatest stuntmen and stunt coordinators of all time, Vic Armstrong. They are ridiculous. And everything looks so real. Everything looks like you're there. And then you have a CGI-infested nightmare with blurry images where you can see that they're just standing in front of a crappy green screen. Nothing is there. Nothing is real. They had surreal moments in all these films like plane fight scenes and something like that. But they were there. They did something.
No, and it was the whole point of Indiana Jones.
They're fighting in between moving cars in a freaking jungle.
You're seeing tanks blow up, planes blow up. That was cool because they were real. God. And then what was the fourth? The first one, the whipping sound, the whip is introduced, Nazis come in. It is so good. The first one, brilliant. I don't think they could get it wrong. It was superb. The ending was slightly mental. You're just like, okay, they've just made it good into like, what is happening? Everyone's melting. What's going on? But obviously he did not want the comparison with Monty Python. So, but there is no comparison. It's action-packed brilliance. Indiana Jones is superb. I think I really, really liked the first one. Second one was not as good. I mean, they went all in Asia. Fine, nothing against Asia, but it wasn't as good. And
you know what broke the second one? There is one thing that destroyed the second one.
The elephant riding.
No, Kate Capshaw. She destroyed this entire movie. What I loved is first she had to be taught how to scream, which she perfected because that is only thing she does. She's even very critical of her own character, saying that Willie was not much more than a dumb screaming blonde, which, full stop, is true. And you know that she is very afraid of snakes. And there was in real life, Harrison Ford is not afraid of snakes so far that the pet handlers who put snakes in front of him were actually surprised by how well he went along with the snakes, but she hated it. She had a panic attack just by the sheer thought of having to work with a snake on screen, and Steven Spielberg cut the scene and then later said that the only reason why Kate Capshaw later married him was that he allowed the scene to be cut. But I remember my best thing about this miserable performance, because, you know, we are sitting here talking crap about Kate Capshaw. She will never see this video, but in 1984 she appeared on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson to promote the film, and after her appearance of the show came another segment of the show with Siskel and Ebert coming in, doing their regular movie reviews, and they slammed her performance in this movie, calling it wimpy and whiny, and then from off camera, Kate Capshaw told the two people, please don't talk about me like stop? I'm not here.
Okay, let's talk about Indiana Jones, yes. Please. This is why we're here. I quite like the shorty sidekick. I thought he was quite cool. It's a good little end to it. I mean, very cliche, but at that time, this was the cliche. Short little sidekick wants to be Indiana Jones. Okay, fine, I get it. But they exaggerated all of this voodoo magic stuff, which I thought, you know what, Indiana Jones, yes, there's magic involved, but it's about blowing things up. It was so cool.
Yeah.
And what did they do with it?
It's about an adventure. I mean, funny thing is that both Steven Spielberg
blowing up adventures
and George Lucas were going through a divorce while, or managing their divorces and breakups while doing the film, which is why it turned out so dark in comparison to the other movies. But one thing, we said, I'm positive that there is no better actor to play Indiana Jones than Harrison Ford.
If there is Indiana
Jones,
there's Harrison Ford, otherwise there's no Indiana Jones.
There is only one person who can rival him when it comes to charm, when it comes to his on-screen performance in this role, and that is Sean Connery.
And Indiana Jones.
No, but the play.
The father was a good.
The father. That's what I meant. The two indies, the two Joneses. They were brilliant to watch.
They had to get a ghostwriter for their main dialogue just to build a relationship.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't much in it, and I quite liked it. I liked that bit. It was just like cool. His father's introduced into the movies.
The best scene was when they were taped together.
Yes.
And they were just arguing. This is so much fun. And sadly, I did not find any information of how well Harrison Ford and Sean Connery actually got along with each other. But
well, they did enough to take the pants off and film a scene together. Because it was so hot. So they did get along. Yeah. I tell you that now, they got along. So yeah, boom.
Well, I'm not wearing pants, and I hate you.
We are wearing pants. Yeah, I'm wearing pants. I'm making it clear, I'm wearing pants.
I'm not getting that.
Issues. Hopefully we're not going through a divorce and making this a terrible second Indiana Jones, because then it would be a complete outrage.
I think whatever we do, it can't be as bad as Crystal Skull.
One thing I had to trying to process. So you're getting chased by a tank and you're riding a horse. How can the horse catch up to a tank? The speed doesn't work. The tank is faster than a horse. What's going on there? But it's Indiana Jones, so anything is possible.
I don't mind.
Anything is possible.
I actually don't mind this. What I found interesting, because we're talking about Indiana Jones as the masterpiece that is, and did you know that the movie had a hard time even getting made? Because even with George Lucas and Steven Spielberg behind the idea, every major studio in Hollywood declined the idea and refused to make the film. But then Paramount agreed, and even agreed to make a very strange deal, because they financed the entire film's budget, but George Lucas would still own over 40% of the film with a big revenue share. So even though he did not have to put in money, he made more money from this film than Paramount.
Guess what? It became a Paramount success.
I'm going. That's it.
Oh
God, I stood up.
That's it. Let's make it a Paramount success. It's done. It's over.
It's over. This is the worst thing ever uttered by...
You have survived. You have survived. Yeah. You have survived.
You know what? This was the second worst thing that a human being has ever said, only surpassed by the sentence, "Let's make Indiana Jones 4."
5. This is the...
Oh my god, no.
They're making a 5. Anyway, okay.
No, I'm out.
Thank you very much for watching. Thank you. Please like, subscribe.
And most importantly, join us back next Saturday for a brand new episode of the Pork and Knuckles Show. See ya.
Take care.